Once upon a time, a few years ago, I coached this guy who had joined Primal because he had signed up for the New Year's resolution program we had been running. He had a pretty successful business. He had 2 kids, he was married, drove a nice car, lived in a nice house, had a nice life. In fact, he had probably too nice a life, and that was the issue, because life had gotten in the way and he had now lost control of his health. He was about 3 stone overweight, and he was starting to recognise that things were affecting him. His current trajectory was affecting his quality of life. Even though he had a lot of money coming in, even though he was going 2 or 3 holidays a year, he could afford things he wanted, he recognised that his health was more important than all of that. So he came to the gym and he focused. And for 6 weeks, he knocked his pan in. And then one day he slipped up, and that's the end of the conversation, because he didn't come back. And that describes so many men just like you. And this is going to describe 90% of men's journeys in the following 2 to 3 months, because we're coming to that point of the year where everyone's now starting to focus on, let's get drunk for Christmas, let's get the holidays over, and then January we're going to hit it hard and I'm going to get myself in shape, and this year's going to be the year I do things. And that's the conversation every man in his 40s seems to have with himself every single year around this time. And then what happens? They're back exactly where they were this time the year before. When are men going to recognise that they are the reasons they are the way they are? And when are men going to accept that the only man that's going to be able to get them to where they want is themselves? Too many men believe that by joining the gym, hiring a trainer, starting a new training program, somehow that's going to result in them getting the bodies they're after. And unfortunately, as history has shown us and experience proves us every time, that's not the case. The men that get the shape they're after, the men that we all end up admiring because they got that shape, are the men who took control of their actions. They're the men who decided to recognise that they are responsible for their own outcomes, and that they must be the ones to implement strategies to get them to where they want to be. The rest of you want to project blame on the gym, blame on the trainer, blame on the diet, blame on the stress, blame on the kids, the job, the wife, and whatever else you can justify blaming, so you don't have to look inside. And the reality is, until you do that, nothing's going to change. So we're come to 2024. If you're unhappy with who you are, and the journey I just described could be anyone, because it was anyone, I made it up. I used an amalgamation of members that I've trained over the last 7 years, because every one of them had a similar story and a similar outcome, because every one of them wanted Primal to get them into shape, not recognising that Primal, or whatever gym you're in, can only assist you. Now granted, there are gyms out there that are better than others. There are trainers who are more knowledgeable. There are trainers who are more experienced. There are programs that are better. But unless you follow that program, unless you turn up to the gym, unless you put your trust in the trainer, unless you commit to action, there is nothing anyone can do to get you out of where you're at. We've got 1 month until the 1st of January. You can hold on to this conversation you're going to have, I will start then, or you can take action and start now. You can give yourself a 4-week window to start creating new habits. And yes, it's not going to be perfect. And yes, you're going to slip up because it's December. And it's stupid to ask men of our age who are in a habit based where it's drink and bad food to suddenly give it up on the season that no one gives that type of crap up. But you're not going to be hitting January nervous about, am I going to be the fattest? Am I going to be the weakest? Am I going to be the most uncoordinated? And all those other conversations. What you're going to do is find that you've got 4 weeks experience getting into the gym, of understanding the program, understanding the movement, that gives you a better opportunity to improve your life. Hit 2024 with all guns blazing. Why, if you're so determined to get yourself in shape on the 1st of January, would you not start committing now? Because if you're going to hold on to that story, you're going to do it in January like you have every single other year, you're going to end up exactly back where we are right now in 2024, coming in 2025. Ultimately, it's your decision. I'm here to assist you, help you, and show you the path to get you there when you're ready for it. If you're interested, click link below and get signed up.